I've always had this concern about results on the ground and at the same time the results on the ground feeding into policy. At that time you had a lot of think tanks who had very senior economists who would think through policy, come up with good guidelines, etc. But more often than not, those policies were disconnected with the ground level reality. If you're really wanting to work in the space of sustainability, you need to start with a sustainable company really at the end of the day. When we talk about India being an exporter of IT services and some health services, etc., I think we don't realize that we are probably in a position to be the best exporter of development sector practices also. India is on the right track when it comes to the fact that we are a growing economy, and that's where we have to keep that balancing act of being able to grow at a 7%, 7.5% kind of growth year on year. About 3 or 4 years ago, USAID actually said we are a climate finance entity which also does development. So that was the kind of positioning they'd taken. And similarly, a lot of other development institutions said we are number one priority is climate finance. We are in some ways, I would say, the very early stage of, I don't like to use that word, but deglobalization. Many countries are actually now wanting to look internally first. And that is why we are now seeing this tariff war and make in your own country and immigration rules, not only in US but other parts of the world also. AI can play a very major role, and you can look at first entry points, at the lowest level at districts, at states, etc. Have AI actually clean up the data, evaluate, so that there is very little human intervention that is required. AI would also enable indicators being set which are measurable. What can't be measured or will never get monitored at the end of the day. So I think that's where AI will come in.